Good morning, everyone. Wow, what a beautiful moment to be alive. I am so grateful each and every time I share this with you. What's going on, everyone? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, and we are getting ready here to take a look at the markets and make sure that we walk away having that clarity, that certainty, that laser-eyed focus that is required in order to do legendary things, in order to do epic things, in order to do generational wealth type things. We're looking at Bitcoin trading at 54,923. A lot of people looking at this chart are seeing many different things. Some are seeing like this is Wycliffe distribution. This is the example model that you could just chart a Bitcoin. This is it. You know what, Jordan? Actually, if you take a 50 MA, and you look at the price of Bitcoin, this is the first time this has crossed since Bitcoin traded at 10,500. Jordan, this is so bearish. It's ridiculous. It's all over the place. I see it everywhere now. All of us look at this chart. We look at Bitcoin pull back 20%, and we're like, wait a second. 3 ways to trade Bitcoin in the bull market phase. We have the ultimate guide to profit from Bitcoin in its bull market phase. We know what we do as Bitcoin pulls back 15, 20%, 25, 30%. We're leaning into that. That's how you do it. But Jordan, this is so bearish. You don't even know what this means. Well, I remember what happened at 10,500. I remember exactly what happened then the last time. And look at this beautiful consolidation. And then went on to the what? The 6X, the 7X that took place. Yep, this reminds me of $10,500 a lot. Bitcoin here at $54,869. It reminds me, as Bitcoin's been consolidating for 2 months now, that it's getting ready here for the parabolic move, which is going to take us what? Is it going to be another 6, 7X from here? I don't know. Is the speculation going to get so rampant that it's much greater than that for a short period of time? Well, there's certainly an incredibly strong possibility. When Bitcoiners look at this chart, they're like, you know what? Remember what happened in 2017 every time we came back into your 50 MA? It was the best time you could possibly buy. That's how a Bitcoiner understands that right now we're in the bull market phase of Bitcoin, trading the 4-year cycle, and then we got another 5 months to go. This is the move that is beginning right now, this massive parabolic move that's going to end in a blow off top, and Bitcoiners are watching this moment, and they are so excited. They are so excited because we had the plan from the beginning. We had the plan from the beginning, and the number 1 candle, by the way, the bull market phase candle, this is a big candle. We're about to put in a monster big candle this year, and we're just at the very beginning. It's so early right now that it's ridiculous. I had to remind people yesterday, look, if you sold here at this point of cycle during the shakeout, which leads into the parabolic phase, how long for 2 weeks we laid out the shakeout that was expected to occur. Made sure that no one before the great shakeout that leads to the beginning of the parabolic phase, instead of getting shooken out of their position, we're leaning in. You don't understand Bitcoin. You missed out. There are a lot of people yesterday, and we got the CTM community, by the way, firing at all cylinders across the board. Harry putting out this chart of Ethereum. Beautiful stuff over here. Good stuff all the time. Again, conquering the markets all day long. Ken is like, look, every time we have these, he calls them micro trends, corrective trends. It's entirely bullish for Bitcoin. This is the place where you want to be looking to lean in. Could we go lower from here? Of course. Of course. Of course. Let's take a look at the chart really quick before we continue and go any further. Before we get into the attack of the bears, as everyone here right now is seeing these bears in the market, and they're like, it's the 50 MA Wycliffe distribution. This is the top over here. I lost a lot of money recently. I was being super cautious, but Jordan's enthusiasm encouraged me to take a risk that I wouldn't normally take. I messed up. Reflecting, like, he's still awesome, but completely wrong. Bitcoin is not bullish. It just isn't. Wait. First of all, what? My enthusiasm encouraged you to take. I haven't taken any risks that I shouldn't have taken. What are you doing? What do you know? Bitcoin is not bullish. What are you watching? Are you afraid of the bear? I'm looking at the silly bear, and I'm like, that's a silly bear dancing over there. You know, this is the captain over here absolutely crushing it, loving the silly bear, you know, and everyone else over here is like, you know, Bitcoin is not bullish. I don't know what kind of risk you took. I don't know what kind, the risk that I took, right? By the way, everyone, you know, those that were on time, exiting over here, 6,250, you weren't wrong if you didn't. You weren't wrong if you held through 58,500, but that was the line in the sand that was given to you, 58,500, and you can no longer be fully positioned below that. You know, and then that was also coincided with the break of Brad's trend line of the channel. We set up that area very clearly. Friday session is all talking about it. And then, you know, I send out the cheat sheet over here as Bitcoin, after it spikes down afterwards on the break of 58,500. And then the first sign of repair right over here at 55,500, that set up for everyone. Since then, you had a breakout, a retest, didn't make a higher high, didn't resume out of it, and actually came in for another retest. And now is trying to resume off of it. We don't know what's going to happen over here. You know, I said if you break down below 51,000, at that point, we're looking at a bigger leg down, silly bear. Whereas the chart over here, we're looking at, if we break below 51,000, you know, at that point, but are we probably going to hold somewhere around 47,000? Yes, probably. You know, if that's occurring, you should be careful, and you should make sure, even if you're looking at what would be a 38% drawdown back down to $40,000, that you're still covered and you give it extra room. Do we expect Bitcoin going to have a 38, 39% drawdown? No, it happened in 2017 though. Be very careful. You never know what's going to happen. But come on, if you don't see Bitcoin as bullish, you know, then you haven't been paying attention, and you continue not to pay attention. We don't know if we're out of the woods yet. Still fully positioned over here unless 51,000 is broken, right? And again, even if 51,000 broken, the downside is probably not that much. You should probably, you know, if 55,000, great place to buy Bitcoin. You know, trade back down to 47,000. I hope that you have the fortitude, the foresight to understand that we're pretty close to printing the low of the bull market phase, whatever, the recent low of this pullback, and you're not going to see that price again, and most likely ever, including in the next bear market phase. We're not trading below where we are right now at this moment. That's my belief. That's my belief. If you think that's overly enthusiastic, well, then I haven't done a good enough job trying to help you understand the most important trade that matters and what it requires to stay on the bull of all bulls. But this week, we've been hyper focused on it. It was 2 days ago. It was just 2 days ago where I spoke about warning. The parabolic is a day ago. The parabolic move is beginning. You know, we had the training session over here. Let me share with you a minute or two of it as we talk about one of the most important thing happening in the markets right now. You are here. It is good that you are here, but your journey has just begun. Go back and watch. This is the CTM recommended playlist. Watch this video, How to Thrive in Conquering the Markets, Getting Started, and Best Practices. You have to watch that video first and make sure that you are going through this content in such a way that's going to help you get the most out of it, as well as each and every one of these Bitcoin videos that we've done, whether it's the parabolic move into the blow off top, the maximizing loans, avoiding liquidations, Bitcoin strategy number 3, Bitcoin versus alts, Bitcoin versus alts versus the US dollar, the altcoins massive move to peaking at the top. You have to watch all of these. I hope we could deliver the high intense quality that each and every one of those videos has gone ahead and but I'm doing the best I can. I'll continue to do that. $56,000. Martha, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. And, you know, it's been about 10 days or whatever, still struggling through it. And that's why I just hope that, you know what? I'm just going to give it everything I have over here. This is such an important time. As right here, right now, as Bitcoin is pulled back over here, a lot of people are kind of shooken out mentally of 2 months of going nowhere. As Bitcoin continues to consolidate, Bitcoin trading at $56,000, this is the place of opportunity. Let's make sure that we get a nice look at it and understand why. This chart over here we've looked at so often. You're looking at a couple of things over here. Here you have the halving marked out, right? The halving event starts off the bull market phase. That bull market phase goes until you make the all-time high from the previous cycle, right? Since then, it has been 140 days. More, más o menos. I don't even know what today's date is. Whether or not, is today the 18th of April? Either which way, I believe it's pretty close to 140 days. Okay, so we look at the first cycle, the second cycle. They were somewhere between 291, 297 days. Team Randall has gone ahead and marked up a couple of charts for me. This is one of them. And he's showing from the event we've just spent the past week and a half looking at, right? The shakeout, which is occurring here circled in the first cycle, here circling in the second cycle. We'll look at the third one that we're currently in a second. There's approximately 147 days, 154 days left to the peak from where we are right now. Now, if you add 150 days from where we are today, that gives us September the 17th, 2021. Why that date probably stands out to you, because we've been keying off for a while, for a long time. I don't even know when. We've had our eyes on the 21st of September, 2021. We've looked at this chart, and this chart shows you from the cycle low up into the halving, you count how many days, and then approximately less 2%. That's how long that the bull market phase, the extension lasts. It worked in the first cycle. It worked in the second cycle. If it works again in the third cycle, that gives us one of our highest rated situational awareness points, the end of September that we're looking at. Here we are right now, 150 days from the well, here we go. Ian shared this chart over here from Willy, right? And those areas that we've been watching, these areas that are circled, right? He has actually highlighted as well. Look over here is the first cycle. So you're looking at this one right over here, right? Then you have the second one highlighted. This is exactly where we are right here today. Here's the second one. And then we've been focused in on coming out of right now this shakeout that we're in. It looks like that there's a good chance that we've bottomed. At least we've seen the first repair. I'm not going to go ahead and draw that in right now, but we go. Oh, I'm not going to go ahead and draw it in as I go ahead and draw that line in. Great, Jordan. What are you doing? Right? So you can see this was the first indication, this line we've been watching, once we broke out over here, that possibly we're seeing the first line of repair, and this was the low, and we're about to go ahead, and it looks like take a run at the 65,000 all-time high, and from then, yes. And that's what we're setting up over here. That's what we're setting up right over here right now as everyone's flouting the silly bear over here, dancing. We're watching, I'm doing this week as it's unfolding, not after the fact, not after everyone starts FOMOing in and was like, oh my, look at Ethereum right now, right? We have a healthy market right now, Ethereum trading at all-time highs. I look over on the right side of my screen, I see all altcoins up. Is that a bearish signal that the top of the Bitcoin market is in? Well, Jordan, alts are going to peak. Yeah, alts are going to be peaking after Bitcoin. So yeah, maybe this is the bottom of the top of Bitcoin, and this is the blow off top of alts. If you believe that, you're like, we're halfway there. We're just getting started over here. When I say halfway, I'm talking about the move from 10,000 into 60,000. We're looking right now, move 55,000 to what? 300, 350, 400,000. Are we going to get highly speculative towards that top? You know, we're still early. We're very early. You know, I just want to make sure everyone continues to know we're setting up such an important time right over here as we're about to enter the rip your face off parabolic move. I don't know whether it's going to resemble something like the first cycle, which is like just so what was the return over here? You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. The second one, if you remove the first one, is just as ridiculous on its own, and it looks like we're outperforming the second and not as high as the first. The price appreciation that we're about to see is going to be, and as it's happening, I'm going to say it's the melt your face off move. Get ready for it. It's incoming right now, but people continue to be bearish. I could not be more bullish. I had to take the time this week just to give you that awareness of where we are. And it doesn't mean that, look, next Friday we have options expiring. See, it does not mean that we're not going lower or that this is the bottom here, we're going higher. It means right now here, I'm fully positioned, right? The latest that you should not have been was 58,500 by 55,500, first three pair. Yes, I look at this as a pullback that I want to be invested in. If we break down further, you know, definitely if you're trading Bitcoin with leverage, back up. Something's not right. We could go lower, and that could last for another week. It could last until next Friday, another 8 days, or not, or maybe not. Maybe, you know, maybe the low is in over here at 51,000 is a possibility. But I do believe, you know, fast forward a week, you know, fast forward to that next Monday, Bitcoin is trading on its way back towards $65,000 at its latest. At its latest. And at that time, could it happen before? Of course it can. Is there is this look repaired to you? No, just the first possible sign, you know, and it looks a little weak. It doesn't look the best over here. There's not a lot of momentum, but guess what? I want to be preemptive of that coming momentum. You know, if you want to wait over here until you get like the breakout of this outer resistance over here, maybe above the trend line over here, right around back above 58,500. And is that where you feel comfortable getting in when there's a lot of momentum going to the upside? That's great. That's good. You know, and we'll keep you on it. Even if we come down lower, that might be the place for you to lean in. You know, $47,000. Of course, we could go lower than that, but that might be the place that you want to really. Oh, but I, you know, Jordan, I can't. You know, okay, then you have to hold. You know, you have to understand where you are. If you can't buy anymore, you know, if you're kind of fully positioned as far as you want to be, well, okay, just understand where you are. Don't be selling over here. You know, not financial advice, but definitely just want everyone to be focused that, I don't know, I guess I'm a little thrown off. So much of CTM is all over it, hard on signal, know exactly what's going on. But there are people out there who are just like, actually like cursing, and they're like, you know, God bless, there's no way that's bullish. You don't know what you're like. Anyway, you got to stay safe out there. You got to stay protected. That's what I'm trying to do for all of you, is make sure that you see with clarity as you see all these, you know, expert traders out there talking about how bearish the market looks. People talking about taking on risks. Here we go over here. Like, I see this over. Anyway, I digress. I lost the flow. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it. I've tried to lay out everything that I feel is going on at this particular moment. Let me clean up this chart. Let me come over like this. I'm gonna drop some HeadSnack over here, lift this up over here. Maybe, I think it's the likes, 456, a little light today. A little light today. Go ahead and light that up. Let's get going over here. So after making the case for why in this moment you should be fully positioned, not more, but fully positioned, what we're looking at and what's next to come.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing, just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
Catching up with the comments over there. There's a question about whether or not the CME options expire on the 24th tomorrow or next week. It's the last Friday of the month. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I will have it out next Friday on the 30th. The options expiring the last Friday of the month. But again, if I'm wrong about that, I'm not trading options on the CME. Someone let me know, just so we're all in the know and know what's going on. So what's next? What's next? I think looking back, again, I don't know whether or not the bottom is put in. When I say the bottom, I'm talking about the spike down below 51,000, the $1 billion in liquidations occurring in about 1 hour window. Whether or not that we tested it yesterday, you could see what happened if I look at the 2 hour, is that after the first repair, the repair is breaking. People are asking, is this a bear flag? I don't see a bear flag whatsoever. A bear flag, instead of sloping down like this, would be sloping upwards like this. If we were in a move down and then sloping upwards, price, like that would be a bear flag. A break out of there is a bearish continuation pattern, you know? But that's not what we're seeing right now. What we're seeing is our classic sell-off consolidation. This is what we live off of attacking. And you have the first trend line over here. It's the aggressive one. The thing is when you have a sharp price move down, the move up could be equally as sharp. Not only that, being that we have been tracking exactly where we were, looking for this shakeout to occur, right? Possibly as we, and then as it's occurring right now, having the understanding that, listen, or the mindset that this could snap back up just as quick. And not only that, when it does snap back up, that's when the rip your face off move is set to occur. This is the beginning, right? The beginning of the parabolic move is not as you come out of it, is as you're at towards the bottom of the correction. That's where you are right now. This is the place to be leaning in. So right back where we started. So options, it's the third Friday of the month. Chris letting me know that it's the third. Could someone do a quick search and let me know? That doesn't sound, Chris, that doesn't sound definitive typically, All right. 652 likes. Let's keep going over here. No, the shakeout is not. So the question is from Jim, from other people probably having themselves. Like, did this shakeout occur? We've already gave the narrative of why this happened with the hash rate going off, price correcting and following. It was an overdone reaction. All the liquidations that took place in the futures and derivative markets because of it, because people were taking on way too much risk. If you're not overly optimistic of what's going on with Bitcoin, then, as Satoshi said, I'm sorry, I don't have time to convince you. You just don't get it. You don't understand. Anyway, I forgot what the question was. But what was the reason for it, right? Is that to do with Biden? No, Bitcoin has nothing to do with President Biden or any other public figure like that. Bitcoin is just shooken out over here. We were before it happened, we were really going to great lengths to just caution people about what to expect over here. So after it happened, I'm not going to it happened because it happened in the first two cycles at this particular time on chain. We were prepared for it. It's what we're doing. We're following the symmetry of past cycles, and it continues to play out accordingly. It continues to keep us on the right side of the trade, and that's why a lot of people are confused. We continue to have that laser focused, making sure that we achieve what we need to achieve. And what's going on in the Discord is absolutely fantastic. The way that everyone is able to work together, CTM on top of it all. So options expire the last Friday of every month, JC. Thanks for clarifying that. Anyway, again, I don't trade options. That's what I was under the impression. It's the last Friday of the month. Could we see further downside pressure? Yes, we can. We're not out of the woods, but we've had the first sign of the repair, right? If we break outside this outer resistance, this trend line resistance over here, that's going to be another repair, another confirmation. At that point, things look like they're getting easier. I'm expecting this to be quickly. Whether or not we have further sell-off over here or not, I do not know, but I do believe, call it a week from now, coming into next Friday's options expirations, getting past that by Monday, at that point, I think we have a lot of momentum in this market. And that, the timing of calling the parabolic move in hindsight will have been stunningly perfect. If you're getting like, as we say at $56,000, get ready for the parabolic move. If all of a sudden price comes down and tests 52,500, and you lost money, or you don't know what's going on. In my opinion, not financial advice. And if you don't know what's going on, don't do anything. Do not do anything until it's clear to you, until you do. But if you're just out there kind of shooting from the hip, it's gonna be ugly. Instead of walking away, doing things that could change your life and lives of those people around you, you're actually at a net loss. That you're doing it wrong. So why is Bitcoin's acceleration slowing? So it's not, this is beautiful. Again, all you're doing is looking at, after the massive first impulse of the bull market, Bitcoin consolidating now for 2 months. This is the chart I look at over here, and I'm like, yep, that looks so bullish to me. It's ridiculous. And not only that, I'm able to envision what's coming next. And that is in the next 5 months, seeing the majority of these candles that's going to be over here. Is Bitcoin going to be above $240,000? Well, I think so. That's what all signs are pointing to, right? So here we are. I guess a lot of people, instead of viewing this for what this is, we have that beautiful chart Willy Woo shared, that we were just looking at. I don't have it over here. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. There it is right here. This chart over here that Willy Woo talked about in the past cycles, just like we were focused in on that shakeout period. Here you have someone else who understands the full year cycle, also watching for that consolidation period that took place similar time during the cycles, setting up. Look what happens afterwards. The parabolic move. This was almost all vertical blow off top. So incredibly difficult to trade. If this is happening, by the way, most of you are going to be selling your Bitcoin at like $77,000, right? And then what are you going to do if like price just goes straight up as it does here? Or are we going to see something like the parabolic move of the previous cycle into that vertical blow off top? Is that what we're looking at over here? Something that's perhaps just outperforming that, not as much as this one over here. That's what we've been seeing. That's what we're expecting. But this sideways movement that you're seeing is not a sign that Bitcoin is actually slowing down. It's actually a sign that Bitcoin is getting ready to go ahead and peak out over here. And it's very clear. I hope you could see it. I remember back when Bitcoin was trading at $12,000, and I was pointing out this chart to you, showing you what's happened as we had the breakout, the retest, the resumption off, and how incredibly, but this helped a lot of people really get into this trade. It really, at the time when a lot of people were asking the questions, what's going to happen to Bitcoin when the stock market crashes, right? Because out there, a lot of people were still telling you that the stock market was going to crash. We're going to run into some insolvency phase and yada, 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 right? As we're like track the central bank liquidity, other people, not everyone is at the same, has the same understanding. A lot of people who follow CTM had the confidence at this point to really lean in with a lot of confidence. It's a very similar period that we're in right now, as Bitcoin over here, $55,000 with about 5 months to go, is in that consolidation area, right? And we're getting ready now for the parabolic advance. This is when the price appreciation really happens, and happens rapidly in just a 5 month period. I want you all to see it. I want you to all be prepared. There's so much nonsense out there that for me, the most important thing to do, because again, there are people out there who are like, let me highlight it one more time. Like I lost a lot of money. I was super cautious, but Jordan's enthusiasm. Well, how is it that you're super cautious and you lost money? And I'm doing the exact opposite. Who's more risk averse, me or you, buddy? Taking risks, blaming me for it. I messed up, but he's still awesome, but completely wrong. Bitcoin is not bullish. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's extraordinarily bullish. You're on the wrong side of the trade. I'm sorry I can't help you there, but don't blame me, buddy. I don't know you, And, and there we go. Some people are like that. So 55,189. I don't know. Just we've talked about it on Twitter. I pointed out to you the options expiring at the end of the month, as over this weekend, I believe, as we came down. It's something still to be aware of. Just because I'm fully positioned, just because I want to be there if we come out of this, don't think that I don't think that we have the possibility of taking out this 51,000 area, and if that happens, we could see a spike down. Yeah, I think around somewhere around 47,000 that would hold. I really do, but be prepared. In case we go down to $40,000, that would be a 39% drawdown from the all-time high. That I mean, it happened in 2017. There's no question the drawdowns this cycle have been less severe. You got 38%, to 40,000. So anyway, laser focused. That's what we are. That's what I am, at least. All right. Yeah, I mean, Matt, I said it, especially during the training session about 3 weeks ago. I said, listen, I listened to Willy Woo for the first time. He gets the 4-year cycle. He understands the work that we're doing, and you should listen to this particular video. It was whatever interview it was. It's on that training module. I included it. I was like, how often do you hear me say you should listen to someone, right? Because it's the only time that I've said, like, you should listen to what he's saying, and there you go. Less. Gene, the analysis is free every day. The analysis share free here, and we do it better than everyone else. But it's because of what we share together. That's what makes it invaluable. That's why we're here sharing. When the music's playing in the morning, starting off with Honeymoon instrumental, right? Getting it going, and then all of a sudden we move over into Honeymoon vocals, and it just brings back all of the memories that we've shared doing what we do here each and every day, working towards a better future, working towards building a better future for everyone. It's beautiful. So, Jericho said his dad is watching. I love that this channel is so family. There are so many dads and sons, husbands and wives that watch this together. It's so awesome. That's really special in my heart. I can't wait till my kids are doing the same, as they get a little bit older here, and it's time for them to begin their education, their education. That's multi-level. What we do here, we're looking to be better people, right? We're working on the person, the self all the time. It's who and what we are. Big shout out to your dad, Jericho. I'm so glad that you guys are here watching this together. Joseph, glad you're joining in over here. If you're watching this on the replay today, what are we about? We're at 38 minutes in here. If you're watching this on the replay, could you go ahead and smash the like button? We're really weak today from the live viewers. We only have about 800 likes as we get going. I mean, Alan representing, that's Jericho. He's gonna get this one. If not, share him the link. Send him the link. And also, if there's a particular episode during the course of the week that really stands out to you, share that with somebody. Send it to someone that you care about. Don't try to convince them to buy Bitcoin. Just spread a little love. Send them the episode and let them listen. Let them see what's going on. And then maybe, over time, it's still early. It's so early that it's ridiculous. Few understand that. People think it's getting late here. People think those that got in early are the ones who did well. That's why I get upset if people selling here, like, people have different risk tolerance. So if someone's selling here at $54,000, I have to respect their risk tolerance. What are you talking about? You either get it right or you get it wrong. You either get it right or you get it wrong. And if you think $20,000 was the top, or if you think $38,000 was the top, or if you think $54,000 is the top, you just, in my opinion, you're getting it wrong. but the market proves everyone right in the end. And you know, when we look back here in 2 weeks and Bitcoin's trading at whatever, it's gonna be like, look, at the time it was happening, when that parabolic move was just about to begin, I told you ahead of time. Don't say you didn't know. You chose to follow the silly bear is what happened. You chose to follow the silly bear. Actually, the silly bear, he got you really shook. And you were like, I see that bear over there. And that bear, he's jumping around. And I'm getting out because I'm scared. All right? So, thank you, Gene. Thank you, everybody. So, boom, boom. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Should you take profit? Well, that's a question we'll look at. Let's take a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin over here. All right. So, listen, mentally exhausted myself giving up on Ethereum, Bitcoin right over here, pointed out and just said, listen, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just saying because of where we're at with this horizontal support and this trend line over here, this is a really important level, a really good level to set your risk off of. More focused on the Ethereum US dollar breakout that occurred at that particular time right over there. And that's kind of how I lean, towards the end of this alt season. The next 5.5 months, if you're playing altcoins versus the US dollar, it just seems a lot easier, a lot safer than with Bitcoin. Because who knows what's going to happen as Bitcoin breaks out and all of a sudden is like booming. Is it going to weigh on alts versus Bitcoin? Is this a place, if you're in Ethereum, Bitcoin, that you want to be maybe taking some profit? Let's look at it. Let's see what we're looking at. And so what I'm seeing is with prices taking out that last bit of swing high, that past resistance, that's extremely bullish coming off this type of our trend line over here. Trend line breakout, retest, resumption, right? This is Bitcoin 10,500 taking out its swing high around 12,500 and then like boom. And that's, there's a good chance that's what you're going to see here. Would I be exiting this trade? Well, no, everything is set. If you're in this trade, you don't want to exit here. If we wind up being rejected over here and start making lower lows, and what are you doing that on the daily time frame? Where at what point would you say, all right, this held as resistance? But what I'm looking at is a breakout, retest, resumption. This is just like where the confirmation is just beginning. You got to push your trades. There's no reason, or in my opinion, if you're holding this trade, to think that there's any like reason to take profit at all. Maybe you're moving your stop loss, locking in some profit below this last correction over here, and then with this nice bull flag we put in and came out of, stop. We trade below there. All right, then something's wrong. Let me get out of this. We don't know. Maybe we're coming back down and testing this trend line and or breaking lower. I don't know. But right now, that's beautiful. And again, having that awareness of where we are in alt season, we got a while to go here. Like another 5+ months, 5.5 months, whatever it may be. But I think it's easier focusing in on altcoins versus the US dollar. And, that's the place to attack, in my opinion. So, yeah, Jay, I when we say another 5x on Bitcoin from here, 55, if we have another 5x, what happened? Something's wrong. That those numbers don't add up. It looks like you could look at the stock to flow model, Plan B, $288,000, but that's expected to overshoot. It does each and every time. It overshoots to the upside. So even if price hits $400,000 or higher, $500,000, you could say the stock to flow is still correct for the model that offers. We knew that price was going to overshoot it. That's what we talked about, before the bull market even started, and getting everyone to position in down around $6,000 and $7,000 was to understand of what was coming. So almost 1,000 likes. That's all right. I like that 1,000 like number. That always makes me feel good. Most wives are fully supportive of CTM. There's a couple that think I sound like Vince Vaughn, But aside from that, I mean, wives are definitely supportive of family watching conquering the markets. Not only is it family friendly, it's life changing. Yeah, it's really embraced. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's Ethereum too. Like Ethereum is just making new all-time highs here, right? Ethereum making new all-time high. So looks beautiful, right? Bearish, bearish. It's bear. It's and Bitcoin is not bullish either. It just isn't. Yeah, and Ethereum wasn't bullish a week ago. I had but so dear friend leaning in over here, almost. He almost. I mean, look, lightly leveraged. By the way, means lightly leveraged. That means that your liquidation level is such that like what on Ethereum is a good liquidation level. 16,000 is that 14,000 never going to happen, you believe right now? What's an aggressive liquidation level? Somewhere around 19,000. I mean, that's super aggressive. If you got into this beautiful trade, and you have your stop loss locked in, I mean, this thing is trading now at a new all-time high. You want to let it run. It's like, what type of numbers are we going to see on Ethereum? Are we looking at, Ethereum 12,000, 14,000? I don't know, but if you look at what you expect to be looking at Bitcoin, and you're looking at a whatever X from here, much greater than 5 in my opinion, so on Ethereum the same. Are you looking at 11,000, 12,000 Ethereum and or much higher? We'll see. The speculation is going to get absolutely crazy. When I look around right now and I see what's going on in Dogecoin, I see, well, this is a bull market. It's what happens in bull markets. Now, the 2017 bull market was different, right? It was a lot of people raising money for projects, and largely on the Ethereum network. And there was Ethereum went into this hyper speculative phase. What's going on right now is, well, similar things happening, except it's happening in DeFi, and it all uses Ethereum, and this network continues just to grow, and so much is being built on it, and stuff that's going to be here for a long, long time. It's the speculation phase. People are speculating. Most people that speculate it's not going to end well for them, because they're speculating, and they're not to be a speculator. You have to be like the expert of experts on so many different levels, and unfortunately most people aren't. Most people who you told to get into Bitcoin, or telling to get into Bitcoin now, and who are getting into Dogecoin and whatnot, most of them are going to lose money, and it's unfortunate. Could you make money speculating in altcoins during alt season? Yep, there's no question about it, and a lot of money. But listen, be an expert. Be an expert. Just don't be out there chasing names and chasing things and hoping to like, oh, people are talking about this, so if I get into this now, I could Wall Street bets it. It's not. Wall Street bets is not how you do it. You got to be preemptive of a momentum, following price, understanding market trends, being preemptive of those trends on the pullback, on the shakeout, saying, well, this here is the beginning of the parabolic move. And then 2 hours later, Jordan, price is not going parabolic. Yeah, your time preference is terrible. There's nothing else to say. Your time preference is terrible. You don't get it. You're not going to get it. You should probably walk away, right? But when we look back at this 6 weeks from now, you'll be like, oh my gosh. Oh my God, we crushed it. We absolutely knew what was going on as it was happening. How is it that we see the matrix, and why doesn't everyone else not see the matrix? So, we'll see what happens, but a week is a week. Next Friday, after, is that possible? That's for many months now. That has put pressure on price. The only time it really didn't was in December. The only time it didn't, now that was a holiday week. Could there have been, I don't know what the volume was expiring over here, but going back into December, price, this is the only time price was rising. Starting in October up until today, every single month, price has that last week into expiration traded down into it. So we could still have a little bit more pressure. We're not, I mean, we're seeing a very beautiful market right now as Ethereum's making new all-time highs. I've said it so many times. I said, first of all, I mean, whether or not it does, whatever. I mean, I said Ethereum will outperform for a long time during the bull market phase. I do believe towards the end, there's going to be a period where it was basically a break even. It didn't really matter, you know, but either which way, it's a healthy market. And I've always said when you see Ethereum leading like this, it's a very healthy bull market. Bitcoin is the reason Ethereum's doing what it's doing right now. Bitcoin is that rising tide that lifts all boats, you know, and the fact that all boats are rising right now, that's super bullish for Bitcoin. That's a good sign. That's what I want to see during this phase of the bull market. So everything continues to be right on time, giving us every indication that we are actually, I mean, I can't even say that. Things are obviously looking way better under these uber easy monetary conditions that we're experiencing over here with this, you know, they're talking about another $1 trillion in spending. It's not going to stop. They're just going to keep going until something breaks. No one's looking to tighten. Well, watch what happens in August at the Jackson Hole meeting over here. Could that be setting up a possible, some corrections in the stock market do happen in September. Is this bull market phase going to be blamed on the stock market crashing in September, October? You know, maybe that could happen. I'm not calling for a crash, but that's generally a, you know, if equity market is going to crash, they happen to crash in the fall like that. And if they do crash, you know, will the narrative be that that's what caused the pop of the, I don't know, but I'm telling you beforehand, there's going to be a pop and people are going to go and find out like, well, what the explanation was. Everyone afterwards wants to know what's explanation. Well, we just want to know what's happening beforehand. I don't really care why. We just know what is. So, all right, man, you're a good man. You want family, right? To be doing great things, to be achieving important things. You know, in our financial situation is one of the most important things in our lives. It gives us the ability to do things that otherwise, you know, anyway. Awesome, Jesse. We look forward to having you not only just taking the course and being a part of all these training sessions that we do with, you know, just the quality is just absolutely beautiful, but it's also it's the community itself on Discord. I could go to Discord if I ever want to know what's going on in the markets. That's my place to go to. You know, where else am I going to go? You got everyone is always on top of it, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely exceptional. All right. So what else? That's awesome, Enzo. I really like to hear that. Oh, there was something else that Mike. Did you see Michael Saylor's debate yesterday? This was some beautiful stuff, especially if you want on Twitter the recap video where he talks about how gold is violent. Just if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you do watch this. There was a tweet by Greg, and he's like, listen, and this is in context. If you saw this video, if you saw the debate, this would make a lot more sense to you. He's saying that it was an epic battle. The thought of the day is, what if gold miners should use excessive power to mine Bitcoin? Since gold mining already uses 20 times the power that was required to maintain the Bitcoin network. So gold miners are, and in the video, Michael Saylor points out how no gold miners holds gold on their balance sheet. No gold miner holds gold on their balance sheet. Really interesting. I had that actually question a long time ago, sometime in 2013, with someone who owns a really big mine. They're not just mining gold; they mine other metals, you know, in the process. And I asked them why don't they hold on to the gold? Why don't they hold on to the gold? At that point was trading at $11,000. Why don't you hold on to the gold? You know, why don't you just fund your operation through these other metals and hold on? Why do they not believe in it? You have obviously a Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, you know, holding on to Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They believe in it. But you think about it, why are gold miners wasting 20 times the energy? Yeah, awesome stuff over there. Highly recommend that. Jordan, you and the family, hope you're doing well. Just one quick question about Bitcoin altcoin strategy. You mentioned exiting the Bitcoin trade completely. and only leaving maybe 5% in Bitcoin. So are you planning doing these all trades with only 5% of your Bitcoin? Is that the 5% you're holding on to? It's not. That's off exchange. When I talk about the odds of a super cycle occurring, I get or a hyper Bitcoinization, I should call it, occurring, I attribute it to be about a 5 to 7% chance that could happen. You know, I think that's generous. I don't really believe that. But either which way, I'll hold on to that much in Bitcoin offline, off exchange. You know, stablecoin, not Bitcoin, is the account base during the bear market. So you're asking about being in Bitcoin over here. No, you at that point it's stablecoin. You want to, in my opinion, not financial advice. You know what you're doing. But you don't want to be holding on to, trading a Bitcoin versus alts in a Bitcoin account, Jason, during the bear market, as we expect Bitcoin to get wrecked. You want to be holding on or trading that base off of whatever. So important question, right? GBTC trading at an 18% premium. What happens, do they need to get the ETF in order to survive? Are they going to get the ETF? Who's going to get the ETF? I don't really know. We'll see what happens. That's awesome, Matt. I saw that comment. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. We listen to some good music over here. We listen to HeadSnack, throw it down. We listen to Honeymoon, have some coffee. Better if you're having that matcha, so first they go with the espresso and then follow that up by sipping on some matcha in the morning. That's conquering the markets all day long. Bobby, reading a comment with lots of love. So what's my Reza? I think if I were to take this, I'd be taking it out of context. What's my opinion? I'm gonna go there. Whatever. What's my opinion on Raul's tweet about going from change? Is he talking about selling his Bitcoin and going in all in on Ethereum here? So why are you late? That's the only thing. If that's what you were thinking, why are you so late? The dancing bear. I love it. We shared this. This is a great meme. Excuse me. This is a great meme. Why are macro bros always wrong with Dan? Whatever. This is the only. This guy blocked me on Twitter. The only person that I know of that's ever blocked me on Twitter. The macro bros. People are looking for the link. There's no link. It's a joke. But if you follow what we've done, the work that we've done here, the exceptional accuracy that we've traded all markets. Speaking of which, everyone track what's going on with silver. It does take about, warrants a few seconds of our attention. But here we have that breakout looking to retest that last bit of resistance, the 2630 resistance above here. It's just another leg up on silver. It all looks good. Gold so far also trading above the trend line over there. There it is. We got breakout retest occurring right now. It all looks good. Back over here to our macro bros. Listen, what was Brandon? Oh, by the way, did you see this tweet from Brandon? Crypto Trades and Tech. We're almost 5 months out from our estimated peak in late September. 5 months, right? Was the low from that point melted face in 2017. He's pointing out from where we are right now, 5 months out to the top of the Bitcoin bull market. Bitcoin did a 1,000% gain in 153 days. When I'm talking about the parabolic move is beginning right now and telling you where it's beginning from. Now, I don't know about timing. I don't know how to time these things. You think I'm going to get it within 2 hours? But we'll see if we have it within a week to 10 days. That's for sure. Do we expect this cycle to outperform last cycle? Could it happen? How rampant will the speculation get at the top? I have no idea. Could you see Bitcoin go from 300,000 to 600,000 in 2 days? What happened in the last bull market top over there in September? We're expecting this one to outperform, or at least I am. I've been on that signal for a long time over there. If you go back to 2017 to the top, Bitcoin went from $10,000. It crossed $10,000 on November the 28th. 3 weeks later, having 100% gain. So could we have, price trade from $300,000 to $600,000 during the course of September? I don't know. I have a feeling that the speculation is going to be rampant, and whatever top ticks they are, they're just going to be top ticks. If you think that you're getting out at the top tick, you're putting some really unrealistic, unnecessary pressure. Don't forget, 140,000 Bitcoin, mission accomplished. You already did the work and set out to achieve everything you needed to achieve. $140,000 Bitcoin. Everything above, oh my goodness, that's what's up. It's a little bit different what we do here. It's a little bit different. So what do I think about Raul getting into Ethereum over here into the resistance? Well, I don't know. Why are you so late? I don't understand it. It was back before alt season began, back in 2020, we saw Ethereum outperform Bitcoin. So, but, back by November, if you hadn't positioned in, I don't really know what were we thinking. We had the breakout over here. We set this one up, the trend line breakout, retest. This was the first positions in areas that we were able to take in on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and then it was just brought to your attention again as we came back in to that important level just a week ago. So why so late? That's all I could say. If that's what you want to do, if you want to speculate in the Ethereum market, because you think that it has maybe an X or 2 or whatever at a certain point, greater than Bitcoin. All right, go, do yours. But I don't understand if that's what. Anyway, I don't understand. Yeah, George, I see a lot of cursing. That's what comes to my mind when I think about Raul switching from Ethereum to Bitcoin. Is just, why is he always cursing all the time? I just can't understand. And I see it from a lot of people that the people that were bearish in the last 24 hours, a lot of people cursing. I don't really understand or know where that comes from, or what's inside somebody that, on Twitter talking about Bitcoin, you're cursing. Or you're talking about Ethereum, trying to lay out some quasi-type intellectual argument, and you're cursing, doing what's going on inside that person. Something is not right. Something is broken. Something's wrong. So I don't think much of it. I don't think much of him, to be honest. I think his analysis is absolutely horrific. I think it's terrible, and I think it's dangerous for a lot of people. But everyone knows that. If you've been following my channel, I've been very methodical in making that case over a long period of time, and with really good reason. Even at the moment that it, alert, insolvency week is gonna, the markets could go insolvent this money because of like GameStop, and I'm like, wait, it's nonsense. But I didn't understand that he was a salesman until recently, when I saw his last, interview that we talked about, and he just said that, from the investment bank, he was a salesman, and he still is a good salesman. That's what Real Vision is. I don't really see the value any longer in the Real Vision membership, to be honest. And that's just myself. You want to ask me my opinion about the guy, I'll give you my opinion. Because his has been wrong way too long. So that's what I think. Am I worried about the GBTC discount to Bitcoin? Well, I'm not worried about it at all. I got into GBTC and still continue to hold it, and will until the top of the Bitcoin bull market. That's been my strategy for that particular instrument the whole time, and nothing's changed at all. I'm not concerned. If I'm looking at Bitcoin going, whatever, 300,000, 400,000, I'm not really concerned about what the premium is on GBTC, nor will I at any point in time. Family Financial School, I like that, Aaron. No, this is whatever people tell you. Don't believe that smarter people curse more. That's a lie. That comes from the master of lies himself. If you believe that smart people curse, you are lacking in intelligence yourself. Is Raul just talking his book because he's been? No, I believe that Raul sold his gold for Bitcoin when he said he was, and I believe that he's really considering at this point not holding Bitcoin and going. Look, he's trading Ethereum versus not Ethereum versus Bitcoin. He's trading it versus the dollar. He's just saying I'm gonna sell my position of Bitcoin that I have versus the dollar and put that into Ethereum versus the dollar and get on you for sure. Go ahead. You could speculate, but do understand that you're speculating with speculative technology. Understand the trade. I myself could not do that. I couldn't put that type of money into something that's so. Now, many of you who really enjoy experimenting, learning about the technology, participating in this movement that's taking place in this time in the world, but most of you have bigger Bitcoin positions and rightfully so. You've taken, you're speculating with or speculative funds in Ethereum or Cardano and watching those speculative smaller investments outperform and becoming bigger portions of your account. That's great. The whole reason you did it in the first place was to get more Bitcoin. That's also good, right? And that's worthy. But just call as it is. Don't try to there's a difference between selling subscriptions and really purposely putting out arguments over there that are disingenuous in order to get certain reactions, right? And there's a difference between actually misleading people. You can't be like, I haven't taken the time to run the numbers, so who knows, maybe Dogecoin's a good investment. No, do you not understand the inflation rate of Dogecoin? Of course that's not a good investment. And if you're invested, you're just speculating. And there's nothing else to say about it. I'm not here to speculate by through taking chances and hoping to get rich in the markets. I do it in a very risk reverse, methodical way. It's, and I can't make the case for selling my Bitcoin to speculate on Ethereum. We'll see. That there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot that could go wrong with Ethereum, and a lot needs to go right for it to be priced out where it's going to be priced out. And I hope it happens. But again, it'll be in the coming bear market where I look at which type of DeFi projects are actually still holding on, which are building, which are thriving, which are set to take over the largest market share in the next bull run. That will be a little bit of safer place for me to get involved and put some more money behind it. At this point, I'm going with the most important trade that matters. I'm going with Bitcoin. I'm going with proven technology. I'm going with the only cryptocurrency that's out there competing for M1. Jordan, how's right? When Bitcoin gets to 100,000, how many people are going to sell? Could you imagine selling Bitcoin $100,000? So many people are going to sell Bitcoin $100,000, right? And I'm going to be like, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. And that's where Bitcoin's going. Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Is that the conversation? Is that where we have our eyes focused on 4 years from now? Yeah, there's no question about that. That's what I see happening right now. So again, where Ethereum is 4 years from now, I don't know. With that, we'll see what's going on, and then we'll be talking about it during the bear market and what the Ethereum trade looks like. But right now, that's just pure speculation. It's just reckless, in my opinion. I don't know if it's reckless. I think it's just, look, if you either know how, you either see the markets or you don't. That's all. Thank you, brother, for smashing the like button over here. We got a couple of likes today. And we made over the 1,000 mark. Listen, DeFi, I really, really don't get into any type of execution with anyone, right? That's not what I do, and not financial advice at all. Anything I say, but as far as what stable, I mean, are you not happy with Tether? Then maybe are you looking at USDC or perhaps the Winklevosses, stable coin? Do you feel comfortable with the twins? Spread out your risk. It's up to you. But, that shouldn't really be an issue. So, yeah, Ian, he gave a real. It was just about like 2 weeks ago on Real Vision where he gives some interview about what he sees going. I don't know. Is that when he was calling I don't know. I don't know, but he talks about what he did over at Goldman Sachs and how he was a salesman, right? Selling financial product coming out of Goldman Sachs money itself. He talks about it was just everyone taking on exorbitant risk, anyway, that's what he was. He's clear about his title, he's clear about his title. Yes, absolutely. Just a bit reminder to everyone to keep the language clean. That his young nephew is inside. His daughter will be joining us, as will mine. Absolutely. This is if you feel the need to curse, that's fine. This place is not for you. You're not welcome here, and that's that. The FOMO, Peter, is going to be absolutely epic, right? The FOMO late in this Bitcoin cycle is going to be absolutely epic. And guess what? We talked about people selling into 100,000. The FOMO doesn't even begin to 100,000, right? $100,000 Bitcoin, you're going to have massive, massive institutional FOMO because it's getting away from them. Because the price is getting away from them, and that's what causes FOMO. People aren't FOMOing in at $55,000 Bitcoin or anything close to it. But above 100,000, that's when the FOMO begins. That's why we're going to see this massive candle here this year. This massive candle. Don't forget, it was down over here when I started telling you what this one was going to look like. And it actually went a little higher than expected. It went a lot higher than expected. I thought it would just be closing at the top here, just around 20,000. So I told you 18,000. Guess what, though? Fed, $4.1 trillion expansion of the balance sheet. QE running hot, $1.4 trillion added this year. All of a sudden, the government's out there just boom, dollars, boom, dollars, boom, dollars. Trillions, trillions, trillions. More virus packages. More infrastructure spending. Wait, why is that money not going to infrastructure? Either which way, we're looking at what I believe to be way higher than anticipated, as that was what we continue to see. So, yes, Arun, but comment of the day right here, because this is how we started off the session. I started off the session showing to you, yep. Here's a Y-cliff pattern, distribution pattern. The top people are seeing the top of the bed. Arun, the best and most important thing you could do with your day is go back right now. Go back to the 5-minute mark as this presentation begins and watch this and learn. It's going to change your world. It's literally going to change your world. For whatever reason that you're here right now watching these Y-cliff pattern, go back and watch the beginning of this stream, and it's going to change your world. It's going to change your life, right? So what else? Have I ever met an Australian? That's a random question. No. Gary, he should not stick to macro trends. He's the worst at macro trends. Don't forget. So listen, we gotta tie this up over here. He should stick to macro trends. The macro bros. No, he should not stick to macro trends, because if you're listening to Raul macro trends, you're waiting for some type of insolvency event that's going to wipe out the stock market. And you've been waiting for that ever since last April and May and June. And every 3 months, he's reminded you about the stages, and the third stage being the insolvency event. And you missed out on everything. If you're following the guy as yields are rising, you're wondering what's going on with your bonds, as he went all in, back all in at the bottom. He's the worst. He rode the dollar, stayed strong, remained a dollar bull for the intense, immense evaluation that's taken place over the last 14, 15 months. He's the worst when it comes to macro trends. That's the whole reason that I've been on top of what, as everyone is, fanboy of the guy with the accent that I've been calling him out each and every turn the whole way because it's extraordinarily dangerous. It's the worst. There's no one worse. He's the worst. You can't be on the wrong side of the markets like that, you know? You can't be. But when you are, you know, and then there it is. Pastor Josh, actually smart people curse more. Could you imagine a man, pastor, man of God, right? People know if you're a pastor, you're a man of God. Saying that smart people curse. Smart people curse. The pastor, the man of God, telling you about smart people cursing. Pastor Josh, this is not for you. This is not for you. That's not who we want or need to be surrounded by. Looking for people that go ahead and could make me a better person, who could lift me up, who could help me work on being, you know, just the best self of myself that I could be at all times. That's why I surround myself with you guys. Dan, you know, it is just what it is. As we're over here hanging out, you know, making sure that we're on top of what's going on in the markets across the board. You know, it's as authentic as it could be. Tom's wisdom. Great leaders have two things: drive and humility. I wonder if it's true about investors. Yeah, I would say drive is absolutely critically crucial. There's no question about it. Drive is humility is tough. Humility, forget investing and trading. Humility as itself, one of the core virtues, love and humility. Every single other virtue is built off the foundation of love and humility. Every single one. It's also the hardest, right? Yeah. How do you not being able to take a compliment? Is that because you're humble or because you're proud? You know, it's a tough one to get right, and really it's a tough school. Really, I think, you know, well I know, you know, in order to work on becoming more humble, right? And we all need to work on becoming more humble. Is only through prayer, and especially through fasting. It's the only way we could become more humble. But we need to become more humble, especially if we want to represent the Lord. You know, but in investing, you know, again, it's that fine balance. The drive is absolutely critical and crucial, but you have to have enormous confidence. Enormous confidence. And then so how do you have enormous confidence and still remain humble? Right? Because the whole people I think wrongfully get that you know, when it comes to the markets and being humble, you know, that means that any time the market could wreck you. Well, no, more than being humble, then you need to be risk averse. You need to be extraordinarily risk averse. And that doesn't mean that Bitcoin, you know, goes down from 56,000 to 53,000 that you got hurt. How is that possible? What are you doing? You know? Doesn't make any sense. We saw Bitcoin come off during the bull market, $60,000, 60%, right? In this event over here in March of 2020, you know, we were buying more. My stop loss is 0, by the way. I'm making sure that I'm doing it right. Anyway, people see the bear. What a funny session we have going on today. BNB in the bear market phase. That's a good question. So there's some people that said BNB is like, you know, it's Coinbase is the regulated BNB. All right, here we go. We see coin trading down to 306, right? Well, 300, 310, 311. That was placed to buy. And then we said if it goes down to 250, buy more. We'll see what happens. But BNB is nothing like Coinbase, because BNB is actually a token that's used for centralized DeFi. I say that with love, right? For their smart contracts, and then the revenue by Binance, you know, a portion of that quarterly revenue is used to buy and burn these tokens. It's absolutely nothing like Coin. You know, this is BNB. This is Binance. This is the real deal over here. Well, it's not regulated. What does that mean? That insiders weren't able to take advantage of the public markets and unload a bunch of money onto the public? I don't understand. What does that mean? It's not regulated. What? This is CZ and his team continue to do, in my opinion, really strong and good work, you know? And BNB in the bear market, you know, do you want to be, well, BNB in the bear market, I don't think is going to do well, you know? The question you should be asking yourself, I believe, is BNB the pair that you want to use to attack the last 3 weeks of the altcoin massive move into the peak of alt season, right? That is big. Is BNB going to have, you know, a 7-8x in a 3 week period, you know, or do you think it's going to be something like Cardano? It's not going to be Ethereum. Ethereum might have a 1 or 2x, you know, during that 3 week period. But what, or is it going to be something like, you know, Uniswap, you know, or you know, that's the question you need to be asking. And during the bear market, are you going to be dollar cost averaging into BNB, you know, if you want an alt play, or are you going to, you know, that's something to be asking yourself too. I don't know, you know, I'm more that again, I'm more interested, and we do it in the course material when we talk about exiting Bitcoin, Bitcoin versus alts, and it's really alts versus the US dollar in that bear market to take advantages at most, probably not BNB, but most of these losing up to 95% of their value. And that seems to be the place to attack, or at least where I want to attack during the bear market. Is BNB one that you want to attack? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, Litecoin, well, that sounds probably a lot smarter, you know. Cardano, maybe. Here's a 75% move down in the bear market. And off its top, I guess it's much higher. I mean, you have an 83% drawdown. It's not the 95% drawdown expected in most other altcoins. But I think, you know, BNB for the next alt season, building up a position in the bear market, well, that might be something that you might be interested in doing, you know. Where else are we at? That's good, Ted. I like Raul's long-term views and his education platform. Yep. Jordan's a better technician, trader, but watching both, I support that. You know, I want to like him. I've tried so hard to like him personally. You know, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Jordan, after the blow off top starts, bear market starts, if institutional governments players start to move in and miners hodl, are you worried supply dries up faster? I don't know how much in this bull market, how much Bitcoin came off exchange, but there's a lot more Bitcoin available on exchange. You know, I don't think that we're seeing a diminishing supply over here, but it's not any type of like, if you want the Bitcoin's available, and by an extraordinarily large margin. So I'm not worried about that at all, or even a little. Let's put it that way. But in yesterday's show, we talked about very clearly signs and how quickly in that 6 week period we'll know what we believe, if the bear market is on time, and whether or not we're going to see, you know, the 80-85% drawdown, as we'll have seen somewhere close to a 70% drawdown in those first 6 weeks. We're all over it. We're on time, you know. Steve, you're wondering how much Bitcoin, you know, how much Bitcoin cost yesterday. You know, Steve, you should be able to go back and do that yourself. There's no question about that. But again, this was when we saw Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin $55,500 giving the breakout at the first trend line. That was my place to make sure that I was fully positioned, ready to lighten up. Talked about where I would lighten up, why I would lighten up, even though I would expect perhaps price only spikes down or comes down towards 47,000. And then at that point, you know, we're going to see a quick up. we still have that awareness that we still have another week before we get to the last Friday of the month. Are we going to see that continued sell pressure on Bitcoin going into the options expirations or not this time? Is this going to resemble more of December? I don't know, but I know exactly where we are. Vitamin D, good. Dr. Luke, thank you so much for that reminder. And it's so funny. I stopped taking the vitamin D as soon as I got sick. So thank you for the reminder. DeFi, you got it. So what else? Is there anything else that I missed over here? Longer session today, all signal. That, yeah, I never know, right? As I try to put everything I can into each and every episode. It's all so important to me. I never know really how it's going to go. And, it's really interesting, right, for you all to see, sometimes like the flow is so easy and it seems so natural and it makes it look so easy. And other times you're digging, you're working through it. Those are the important times. Those are really the important times, and you have to remember, during those times where it's more difficult, it's not always going to be that way. We're going to be back to those days, where it's just super easy and light and nice. And then during those times, it's also remember, hey, listen, it's not always going to be like that. Are you prepared? Are you prepared for that next pullback? We're going to see multiple 30% pullbacks or close to 30% pullbacks before the end of this bull market over here. Are you prepared to see Bitcoin go from 100,000 to 70,000? Are you prepared to see Bitcoin go from 200,000 back down to 140,000? Or are you going to think it's the top and are you exiting Bitcoin over there? It takes expert awareness and understanding of where we are at all times. And that talks about, we'll see what people getting out. I mean, we'll see. You'll know when I'm getting out. We'll see when other people get out. We'll see how well they understand markets. Listening to Ed Harrison on Real Vision. That's good. I'll check it out. It's a long time that I've just been waiting to cancel my subscription, but I'll check out Ed Harrison first then. Ethereum is not speculative. When was the last upgrade to it? That's like saying Ethereum's not centralized. But that's fine. That's at least call it like it is. I'm out here every day calling it as it is. Ethereum is not speculative. What do you think it is? Everyone that's in Ethereum knows it's speculative. That's why they're in there. There you go, Stephen. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Sharon, just do some research. Do some good questions. Do some research. This is not the place for that. So, look, Winthrop, it's a great question, right? With the Bitcoin FOMO will drive metals to the basement. I really hope so. I hope that my time. You saw the gold Bitcoin debate yesterday, and you might be like, "Wow, Michael just absolutely destroyed this guy." Michael destroyed this guy. And if you can't see why Bitcoin is so superior to gold, then you're missing. Well, that depends on what time frame you're looking at what point of the cycle you're looking at. During the Bitcoin bear market, gold is going to way outperform Bitcoin. Not even close. So I hope the timing is right on that one. I really do, and I hope that we're seeing gold under pressure into September. That would be the best thing that could happen, And the thing about gold for me, and it's always been personally, that really all just comes down to insurance, straight insurance, passing that on to the next generation. Never want to have to touch that. But at the same time, when you're living in this new world with Bitcoin, it's, anyway. That's things for you to think about and understand. And people who make the case of Bitcoin over gold, well, of course, that's as clear as day. If you had to pick something, Michael has really made it really helpful. if you had to own something for 100 years, is going to be Bitcoin or versus gold. Well, I mean, gold is confiscatable, and most likely during that 100 years will be confiscated, So, of course, it makes a lot of sense to understand the case for Bitcoin. But listen, we're at a particular point in time where it seems to me that they're getting ready for a monetary reset. When that happens, that's anyone's guess. We know that they are making the jump over to the central bank digital currencies over the next couple of years. That's a plan in motion. That's occurring. You know, are they going to need to do some type of Bretton Woods type situation where they sit down at a table where it's China, where it's Russia, where it's the United States, and they talk about and design what the future system is going to look like? Well, that looks very likely. Janet Yellen even calling out to the G20, preparing them. That's what the U.S. wants. Well, I don't really know what the other players want. I don't know how much China and Russia want to work with the U.S. I mean, they've been de-dollarizing because the dollar's been used as a financial weapon. They had no choice. They were forced to de-dollarize. They continue to pick up gold. China just signaled to its country that they're able to hold on to more gold. A bunch of gold moving into China. That seems to be a trend that I'm clearly watching. Is the yuan going to be quasi backed by gold, the digital yuan? And is that gonna just exponentiate the rapid adoption of the yuan across the globe? And is that going to make a big dent into the dollar as reserve currency status? Will the amount of transactions happening in the yuan eventually be more than are happening in the euro? It's a possibility. Anyway, that's markets. I hope you're not talking to me. You're a fool. What did Jesus say about who calls someone else a fool? Lost for words. Metals will always be worth money. You should own both. Right? You're telling me since I've been buying metals before you were who knows what, right? But you tell me. That's a good one, buddy. Yeah, you fool. Call me. You're a fool. Oh my goodness. My veteran dad taught me that intelligent people used intelligent words to express themselves. That's just straight fire right over there. And that's the story right there, Bobby. The printer goes burr, right? Yep. So this is a great comment over here. This is like what I see. This is, so where do you think Bitcoin's heading over the next couple of days? Sorry if I missed the early part of the stream. Bob, it's not that you missed the early part of the stream. It's just that you missed each and every one of them. Because if you're going to make that type of investment, then you're going to have a really good understanding of where Bitcoin is, where Bitcoin's going. But if you think that you could just like drop in and be like, hey, by the way, what's your opinion? Where's the price of Bitcoin going over the next couple of days? You don't stand a chance, Bob. And that's the truth. You don't stand a chance. This is the bull of all bulls. You're going to get wrecked. Your time preference is way out of whack. And it starts about where you're investing time and how quickly you're looking for low quality answers. And that's not to say, like, that's just try to help you. You're just completely doing it wrong. You're way off. You don't stand the chance. But I guess most won't, So not everyone will make money. Obviously, a lot of people in CTM who've been here for a long time are already witness to life-changing, move in life. But there we go. Thanks, Johnny. Feeling a little bit better after this past week and a half. So I guess we have the energy to keep going over here and pushing it. I love spending the time. No way. Brandon, are we scaling out of my Bitcoin position or selling all at once? Yeah, all at once. I know exactly where the spot is. I feel that confident in it, right? That I don't need to scale out. I don't need for us to be coming down. I know on the way up, when we have the most volume, where I'm selling, why I'm selling, know what's going on, So Yeah, Jacob. I mean, right? You saw the fees pretty high last week, but this price was going sideways. Listen, I never consider swamp. You know, I'm not worried about it. The price appreciation is going to be much greater if you're aware of what's going on. That's not really a question. Bitcoin cycle. I like this. A sympathy of prosperity. Maybe, Sean. You know, maybe what are they going to have to? Would they have to drop the 2% fee in order to get rid of the premium? You know, I don't know. I don't know that they have any interest in dropping the negative premium. I don't know that either. Jordan, I remember watching when we were discussing Bitcoin at 11,000. And at that time, you were talking about 20,000. I remember thinking 20,000 was expensive, right? And now we're at 54,600. A lot of people at Bitcoin 11,000. What's going to happen when the stock market crash? This macro guy keeps telling me that the insolvency event's coming and the stock market is going to crash. What's going to happen to my Bitcoin trade, right? So anyway, everyone. Yes, Luke, in the very beginning, as the Fed inflated the balance sheet away, and we had this discussion with these people, it took a little bit, it took as much time as it warranted, right? We were very clear about who was on the right side, who was on the wrong side of the market. But when these people for over a year have stayed in their convictions, their wrong trades, and just continued to build a narrative around it, at that point, I lost all patience, calling them out there for what they are, and it's extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. I get you like the accent. I get he sounds smart to you. I get he curses and you find that to be intelligent, you know, but I get that you just don't get it. So what else, everyone? I think that's it. I'm gonna go out with some honeymoon vocals over here. Thanks for spending the time together. Looking forward to tomorrow. This had a Friday sesh feel to it. This had a Friday, like, you know, ask me anything, old school CTM style to it. Looking forward to seeing what we bring. I want everyone to walk out of here, though, understanding what's going on right now. And Bitcoin continues to be under pressure. You can see it over here. We need to break out above that little bit of resistance to the upside for Bitcoin just to be under less pressure. We have to wait for this breakout of this trend line over here for the go ahead to things start really at that point probably rapidly appreciating back towards the $65,000 high. It doesn't mean we can't go lower first, right? We absolutely very well could. Be very careful out there. Continue to manage your risk, right? If we break down over here and we come into that $47,000 level, you should probably have orders waiting. Yes, we could go lower. And if we go down this low and you're trading on leverage, breaking below, 51,000, make sure that you have moved your liquidation level, even if it's at 40,000 down lower, because you never know what could happen and you just can't get liquidated at all costs. You could always make up for it on the repair, start building back in, getting into a fully positioned, and eventually more as Bitcoin is moving. But you got to be in it to win it. So you make sure you stay on the right side. All right, everyone, let's go out with some honeymoon. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you. Yes, nice. Follow this channel. Follow price. Be unraveling it each and every day. Yeah, and you know what? You know what though? Jordan's exit is one of my very top indicators. That's all it should be. You know, that should just be another. You know, for my guide, we all know that time where we placed at the end of September, such a strong signal for me. Should my exit on that price action alone be an indication of an exit for you? I mean, I would hope that you would consider it. I got the bottom. You know, I got the bottom. Do I think I'm going to get the top? I think I'm going to get the top. You know, should you follow without understanding? Absolutely not. Do not do that. You will absolutely get crushed and lose money. You know, could someone exit after me and get a much better exit? Of course, no question about that. Just use it as a little bit of guidance for yourself, not financial advice. Anyway, and everyone, have a beautiful day. Thanks for the session, and look forward to tomorrow and sharing more. Greg, it certainly does feel like a Friday, and you know, again, we're not out of the woods. I don't want anyone to think we're out of the woods, but at the same time, this is not bearish. This is the beginning, about to begin the parabolic move. Have that situation awareness of where we are. We have the next week or so, we could have further pressure. We'll be ready for it if that's what occurs. Loving seeing the beautifulness in the Ethereum and altcoin market today, showing me that we are right on time. By the way, that's a tricky one. When I say that, you know, can you imagine thinking the top is going to be in December of the bull market, and then you're seeing in end of September Bitcoin start coming off, but altcoins are beautiful. They're at new all-time highs. They look so strong, and they continue to do epic things. You know, you might not really be thinking that this is the top of the bull market. You know, you might be thinking we got a lot. You might be taking on more risk. You might be about to get wrecked and give back everything that you've gained over the bull market. It's so important to get it right. That's why I can't understand how these guys could get something so wrong for so long. It doesn't make it. You consider yourself an expert on the dollar in the financial markets, and then when the Fed, you know, expands their balance sheet by $4.1 trillion, you stay bullish on the dollar, even with technical breakdowns on the charts. Like, what are you looking at, and how are you missing that? I'll never understand it. But it's, you know, at that point, that's so dangerous, it needs to be called out there. That's all, because it's in the space. It's in the space. So everyone, have a beautiful day. Thank you for sharing this with me, and I'll talk to you soon.
monitor the markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee, reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing. The prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room. Grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Throw from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
Love it all. I love it all. I love it all. You guys are great. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.